Dave had a huge amount of success with this work. He wanted intimacy. And what he found is he just stopped some of the damage that he was doing in his relationship. He began to notice that he could connect inside, and when his girlfriend was in a state of 5, they didn't have to get in it with each other. He began to really trust his emotions, and he began to realize how deep the hurts were. He did turn off the drive for the substances, but he was in a pretty controlled situation, so he really realized that he needed to do this for the longer term. But to get any real change in the emotional brain, that's what it takes. But I was a little bit worried because what he said is, Laurel, I'm just going to be a lifer. I'm just going to do this for the rest of my life, which, using these tools, they're lifelong tools. But this is the issue. Every moment that we're not wiring the brain for joy, the stress circuits, those allostatic circuits, are still inside doing what they like to do, which is get stronger and stronger and stronger with each activation. So the nature of EBT is intensive, focused practice over time. Get into a group so you have a safe environment. Get with a provider so you have someone to oversee the show, because it's really easy to hide out in this work. And if you sense you're trying to rewire these survival circuits, but the tendency is to rewire the ones you don't need to rewire to avoid the ones that are most powerful. So the idea is, if you're in a group and you're all inspiring each other, you have support from a provider, and you actually nab those circuits one after another, you begin to just be freed up. I think of it as like living with cement boots, these survival circuits, and you take off the boots and you float up to what's the natural state for the survival of the species, is for us to be wired at 1. So when he said that, I said back to him, yeah, but the issue is get into a group, do this in a focused, intensive way, imperfectly, with a lot of humor, stops and starts, and get coaching. Get an EBT coach to go to now and then. Start off with a planning session and just see him or her periodically to check in. Or whenever you get triggered and you go right down to 5 and you can't get up, you find that you can't get out of it. So let's make it easier. So his plan was, again, to continue with Kit 1, get into a group with some coaching, have a plan made so that he knows exactly what's coming next. And his biggest accomplishment was really decreasing the conflict with his girlfriend, and really appreciating that in order to really have intimacy in his life, he had to have that solid sense of connection with himself, that emotional anchor inside. And that's why the first part of this work is about creating that secure connection to ourselves. His biggest challenge was not to quit, not to go forward and then give up, or to, let it go, but just to stay in the process and keep his vision on being wired at 1.